Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. You caught me doing actual work today. If you watch my channel much, you know I dug out a ditch, a long ditch that I had that had a pretty serious erosion problem and a weed problem this past winter. And we filled it in with big stone to keep the erosion from happening. Well, we dug out a bunch of dirt, and I had Matt, the guy that did the work, put the dirt in holes in my pasture. And if you live in an area like I do that was trees at one time and somebody came through with a bulldozer and knocked the trees down and pushed them over, they'd pull up a big root ball and that leaves a hole. And I had them all over this field, and I could feel them when I bush hogged. You'd be driving along, all of a sudden your back wheel would go down, the bush hog would go down, and you'd start plowing with the bush hog, and it was a mess. So all of the dirt we took out of the ditch up there, I had Matt bring down here. Well, I should have planted grass seed then. It was in like December. But normally if you plant grass seed that late in this area, it won't come up. But we had a lot of warm days. And Matt planted up where he dug out some grass seed, and it all came up. And I should have done it here, and I just didn't get it done. So today I'm trying to plant some grass seed in my pasture and get this going. And it's funny how in this area, I live in southwest Missouri. It's a rocky area. The glacial till was unkind to us. And when you dig out dirt and you put it loose around, it looks like good topsoil, but after it dries out, it looks like this. It looks like subsoil, which is what it is. But even our subsoil, if you rake some grass seed into it, will grow decent grass. And I'm not asking for much. Again, this is out in my pasture. I'm not going to be mowing this with a lawnmower, but I'm going to grab the rocks off of it, put some grass seed down, rake over it, and try to get grass started. We've got rains coming in the next 3 days, and if I get this done today, I think I got a chance of some grass coming up. Now, I get asked all the time, when's the best time of year to plant grass? And the best time of year, at least if you're an area that raises cool season grasses, is actually fall. Like in this area, 15th of September to the 15th of October. And what happens in the fall, if you plant your grass seed, the grass comes up and gets established, and it doesn't have to compete with weeds, because weeds grow in hot weather generally. So your grass gets up and gets established, it goes dormant in the winter, and then it comes back ahead of the weeds in the spring. But I don't have that option right now, so I'm planting it right now. And we're going to come back to this site a little bit later on and see if we got grass growing. So I'm going to get to work. I'm going to put grass seed down. I'm going to rake over it just a little bit, just enough to get good seed soil contact. I may run over it with the tractor just one time to get it pressed in, and then we'll wait for the rains to come, and then we'll visit this area again later on. This old cyclone cedar belonged to my dad. It's older than I am. No telling how old it is, but it still gets the job done. First thing we're going to do is take our cedar and run over the top of it. And I'm running over the top of it before I rake up a lot of these little rocks, because the raking part will put the dirt in contact with the seed. And seed soil contact is important for germination. And I know this because soil is a natural occurring body having certain chemical, physical, and morphological properties due to the integrated effects of parent material, climate, topography, and time. I learned that from Dr. Renner's soils class a few years ago in college. Don't know what it means, but I learned it. After we got the grass seed down, we're going to just rake over it lightly and get all the rocks up we can. And you guys that wonder why I never do any videos on subsoilers or tillage or plowing or disking or stuff like that, this is the soil we have here. Right underneath this is just a billion rocks, and anytime you disturb the soil, you bring these up to the top. And I don't want to do that. So we don't farm this ground. We don't raise row crops here. Right in this area right here, I had a huge hole, and I think I could have turned the tractor over if I'd have driven just right through that hole. And I had Matt fill it in, and this is a whole lot better now than it was. But that hole could have turned the tractor over, and I never knew where it was, because when everything grows up, the grass gets up 2 or 3 feet tall, you can't see it. I just knew it was there, and I was worried someday somebody would be driving a tractor across there, hit that hole, and turn it over. But we got it filled in now. That won't be a problem. I can mow right over this. You know, people ask me all the time what's the best job for final grading like this. And the absolute best tool for this is a device called a Harley Power Rake, or a Harley Rake. If I ever get rich doing free videos for a living, I'll own one. It's a big drum that turns, brings all the rocks to the edge and leaves a perfect seed bed in back of it. You can rent one probably at your local rental yard. And I have half an ocean to do that after the rains subside, because I've got more of this to do out here. We filled in several holes. But a Harley Power Rake is what you need to do this job. And it'll make quick work of it. One run across and you're done. It's a great tool. If anybody from Harley is watching, if you would send me one, I would demo it. Everybody would buy it, and I'd get my work done quicker. Here's a shot of the loader bucket full of rocks that came out of here. This is an area probably 20 feet wide by about 50 feet long, and that's not all of them. There'll be a few more. I'm going to carry this load down the hill. I'm going to lock in four-wheel drive before I go and make sure I fasten my seat belt. If you're going down an incline and you've got weight in the bucket, it can lift the back wheels off the ground, and that's where your brakes are. So lock it in four-wheel drive so the tractor doesn't get away from you, and always keep your load low. Well, here's the finished product. That's just about as good a job as you can get with a rake and a shovel in the Ozarks doing final grading work. We'll see if it grows any grass. Appreciate you watching my videos. I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. It won't cost you anything, and no salesman will call. I'm about to reach 100,000 viewers. Been a long, slow slog to get there. And when you get there, you get a nice plaque from YouTube, which I would frame in my office. So if you would, help me out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking the mic face icon and checking the bell so you're notified when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website and the Tractor Fund Store with unique items for sale for the tractor owner to help support my channel. And here's the video I did with the ditch where we cleaned it out and filled it with rock. Thanks for watching.